Welcome back everyone to our shell method intro video talking about volumes of solids of revolution. So I've got my can of split pea soup here. We could certainly build this by revolving a region around an axis. We'll show you real quickly how we might do that. We could take some sort of a rectangle and we could revolve it here about, say, the y-axis, and we could get a nice cylinder object. That is a solid, and that's a solid of revolution by just revolving that rectangle about y. When we did the disk method, we thought of then slicing through that in many places throughout the can to give us something that looked very similar to a bunch of slices, say Blu-ray discs stacked on top of one another, filling up a space that is the same shape as a soup can, and having many slices generate the volume that way. What we want to do is look at our new method, this shell method, and we want to, instead of thinking of slicing through at many different levels, we want to actually think about working with our soup can from the inside out. So if you think about our axis of revolution running right through the center of our soup can here, and if we decide that we want to think of layers from the inside out, that's going to be our shell method, in much the same way that sort of the volume of this same shape of paper towels is actually generated by wrapping from the inside out. If you want to think of layer upon layer going from the inside to the outside, generating that volume there. So if we think about some sort of a region like we have here, and we're going to revolve it about the y-axis, let's say, I would think about each layer of paper towel being generated by some rectangle here that would revolve about the axis of revolution and create a layer of paper towel. So it would look like a cylindrical shaped layer with no top and no bottom. You notice here in the shell method, the way I've drawn the rectangle so that it generates a layer is parallel to the axis of revolution. So we want to make a note of that. It's parallel to the axis of revolution, where disk and washer method, the rectangle is drawn perpendicular. So we're going to get a different situation in terms of deciding dx and dy with that rectangle being parallel. The way you can remember easily is that parallel and shell rhyme somewhat, and so the parallel rectangle goes with the shell method. I know that disk and washer do not rhyme with perpendicular, but by the process of elimination, I think we can figure out what should go on there. So when we simply generate the solid by revolving about y, we get this sort of a bowl shape with many layers going from the inside out. You kind of see, hopefully from our animation here, each layer is a different size, right? The height depends on how far out, and the amount of area that that shell layer will be depends on how far out from the center we are. It will be a different shape. It will contribute different area. When we sum up all those areas, we will reach a different volume. So if we are summing up an infinite number of these cylindrical layers, then we will want to figure out how to incorporate the formula for the area of a layer in getting this volume. So we have, imagine, one layer around the roll of paper towels here, and we want to figure out the area of this. And the way we'll do that is actually to think about, if we were to cut it vertically, you imagine that this has no top and bottom. It's just like the label of a soup can. If we were to cut it and then sort of unwrap it and lay it flat on the table, we would get a rectangular shape from that. And obviously the area of this is going to be the base times the height, because it is a rectangle. The height, we will just go ahead and keep that idea, the height of the layer that we originally had. The base, though, if we look at what is this side, well, this would be, if we had unwrapped the label and laid it flat, it would actually be the distance all the way around the bottom of the can here. In other words, for a cylinder and the base, we're talking about the circumference of the base. So this is actually going to be the circumference, and the base will be 2 pi r. 2 pi times the radius for circumference, or pi times diameter, whichever you prefer. In this formula, we're actually going to use 2 pi r instead of pi d. So the area of a layer for our shell method is going to be 2 pi r times the height, so 2 pi r h. Now, as we build an actual solid of revolution, the radius is going to change and the height is going to change depending on which x value we are using, or which y value we are using to generate each layer. Let's take a look at that. So here on this side, if I am revolving this region that I've drawn about the y-axis, just like before, then I will have a rectangle, and I can draw it anywhere in the region as long as it's, again, parallel to the axis of revolution, which I seem to be having a hard time getting. There we go. And so we're going to revolve that around the axis. Couple of things. We need a radius and we need a height for this rectangle. So if I look at the height, that's just going to be how tall this is. That's going to be the length of this, okay? So from here down to here, that difference in distance, we're going to consider that to be the height. Okay, so our height here is really going to be the top minus the bottom, and that will be the height of each layer. We've got the idea of h of x here. The radius, idea with radius, is how far is it from the axis of revolution. So if I've drawn my rectangle here, then this distance here is going to be my radius for that particular layer. If I had drawn the rectangle further out, I would have a bigger distance, right, for my radius, farther from the axis of revolution. If I'd drawn it closer in, then I would have a shorter radius. Over here on this side, we're going to be revolving about the x-axis, just to give you an idea what this will be like. So with the shell method, we will run our rectangle in the region parallel to the axis of revolution, so it will run horizontally. And our height is a little bit different. Height of a layer of paper towel is going to be thought of as the, I guess, the length, right, of the actual rectangle that runs through the region. So this is actually going to be our height. Now, because our rectangle is running horizontally, this will be dy, so we will need a formula in terms of y here. And this distance will be, if you remember from our area between curves, this will be the right value minus the left value. Will give you the height or the length of each layer of paper towel there. Still, to find the radius, we will look at the distance of that rectangle from the axis of revolution. So here this will be our radius in terms of y, since we're integrating dy, and we would fill those values in here. So we get our volume is equal to 2 pi times the integral. You'll have to find your bounds, either x bounds or y bounds, depending on if you're integrating dx or dy. If you're integrating in terms of x, the radius and the height functions will need to also be in terms of x. If you're integrating dy, it will be functions of y for radius and height. Okay, so that's our shell method intro. Check out our example videos. We'll see you in the next one.